We're going to take to 11th grade coursework section of my coalition. I logged in as student Willow and I'm in my profile. I haven't done a lot on my profile, but I'm going to get started by adding some courses. The thing about my coalition is you can start adding courses as early as 9th grade, and if you're an 11th grader or fall of senior year, you can simply come in here and start adding courses as well and looking at your transcript. Adding courses one by one, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. There's a note here before I continue that if you take dual courses or if you're dual enrolled, usually it's a community college program, you'll also need to add that information to the college coursework section. So that's just a little reminder for you. One of the entries for 9th to 11th grade coursework, and you're at the point when you're getting ready to apply to colleges, you will click off this little button here, and that means that this section is complete and you're going to go on to 12th grade coursework. That's especially pertinent for those of you who are working or starting to work on your coalition applications to our member schools. So right now, I'm a 9th grader, and I'm just in the process of adding courses. My high school, and that's about the only thing I've done so far, and I'm going to start adding some classes. Say that I'm a 9th grader, and my school uses a letter grading system. Sure, you can ask your teachers, you can ask your counselors, and if you haven't received grades yet, you can also look at your class schedule and other information provided by your student support office. That's how our grades are reported for your school. If you're new at the high school, you may not know, so this is a good thing to check. Most schools use one of these 4 systems. Your full year, which means you get 1 grade. I put that I'm on the semester system, which means you get a fall grade and a spring grade. And there's trimester, which means that there are 3 grade reporting periods, and quarters means 4. There is a checkbox here to indicate whether my school does block scheduling. That simply means that I take longer classes, but fewer courses in a given grading period. If you're not sure, another great question to ask your counselor. And finally, ask whether this class took place in the regular school year, which is the case for most of you, or in the summer. So I'm going to click regular. Now, some option to put if you are taking a class in the summer, either through your school system, maybe online, or you're actually doing a special academic program elsewhere, and so that's a good option to use for those courses. So now to start entering some more information, specific information to the course. And the first course I want to add to my schedule is math, and I can start typing math, and all these different titles come up, and this is what we call the generic course name. At time, you'll notice in my coalition, if there's something that could use some clarification, there are these little tool tips. Pull that down just to see what they really mean. Like, what do you all really mean by generic course name? And you'll see that it just says use a course name that most closely matches is generic. So the category, and that returned too many results, so I can just try different classes like algebra. And in this case, I find algebra 2, and that's what I'm taking. So I'm going to select that one. On my class schedule, it actually says Algebra 2 Honors, so I'm going to type that. Under type, you'll see from the pull down, there's not a whole lot of options, but certainly a handful to denote what sort of level the course is, and that's really what we mean by type. And in this case, my course title indicates that it is an honors course, so that's pretty easy. I'm going to put honors. And then to put that for my grade, I actually haven't gotten one yet because I'm just a 9th grader, but it is in progress. So I can make that note, and I can come back later and make that, turn that into a grade once I have one. And for second semester, I haven't started that course yet. Final field here is really just a place where you can put some notes for yourself and also eventually for the academic, for admissions committees that will be reviewing your file. If they look at this section, other course information could be things like this was a special independent study that was done, or maybe it was online, or anything else for context that might be important. I don't have anything right now, so I'm just going to save course and close. And I did my first course to my coalition profile. Let's do more. Again, it actually remembers the information from the last time I entered it. And of course, once you start making the jump to 10th grade, you can just click over to 10th grade. But I'm still in the 9th grade, and it's already remembering what my school system is using, and that's all the same. This is another school year course adding, and in this case, I'm going to add British literature. I could do English literature too, but it's actually the options. The course name on this transcript is English literature, let's say. And then under type, this is actually not an honors course, so I'm going to have to look the different types. And probably end up doing is use regular academic if it doesn't have any other kind of special indicator or labeling. They're going to be the most commonly used. Hold this up again so the students can see all the different options. There's some things like called AP and Cambridge and the higher and standard level. These are all specific designations. These are curriculum that your school might be using, and it'll be very clear if you are in those classes or if you're unsure. Ask your teacher or double check your class schedule. Usually it's for slightly more advanced grade, not in the 9th grade. But if you do have AP Prep or things like pre-IB, this is where you can indicate those courses or those special course programs. Most students are going to put, advanced or accelerated. There are a lot of options here because different schools use different labeling. Just choose the one that is closest to what your school calls it, and just be consistent. A general question we get often is, what's the difference between regular and academic? There really is no difference. It's just different ways of saying that this is a course that is required for graduation or part of the students for your plan and kind of more advanced indication. So if you want to use academic, that's fine. It is an academic course. I'll be writing papers and doing research. Some students like using the regular for things like graduation requirements and electives, physication, things like that. Let's say I have a grade for this course. We're going to pretend so you can see that it works really easily. Then in second semester, I haven't started this course yet, and I'm done. So that's pretty much. You can go and add courses as you go throughout high school, or if you're entering the platform a little bit later, you can get a copy of your transcript and enter all that coursework and have it all saved. And when you're ready to go to the other sections, you can move on. I hope this is good luck.